Okay, so Morgan, tell me what you were talking about a minute ago when you were saying that some people believe that certain vaccines cause autism. How do you feel about that?
Well, I really don't believe it because people are born with autism and they really don't show the signs until they're 3 or 4 years old. And that's usually about the time when they get their vaccines, but they just don't show their symptoms. Symptoms, however you say it.
So do you think that's like coincidental, maybe just because of the time frame of it, or that parents really believe that the vaccines cause it?
Well, uh, I don't know about that, but
I mean,
I
this
really
is
don't
just
think.
obviously your opinion, but
Yeah.
how do you know so much about autism?
Well, it's because I live with it myself, and I'm the one who has to deal with this, so I always have to explain to people about what it really is and that vaccines don't cause it. It's just a myth. And the stereotypes of us are not true. We are not mental. We're not stupid. We're just different from other people. There is no such thing as normal.
So is autism a disease,
No,
or
it's not a disease.
well, what would you call it? How would you explain it?
It's a disorder that interacts with your social skills, and it you think differently from other people, and it's not a disease. This disease are like a virus, and they can just spread anywhere. Like, and autism cannot be spread. It's only spread through probably genetics, but nobody knows why it causes what causes autism. I don't know either, but it's just something we'll learn.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, obviously you could speak and you can tell people what you're feeling and your emotions and things like that. So you don't have it, as severe as maybe some other people, right?
Yeah.
So do you have regular autism? What you have Asperger's.
Yes, Asperger's spectrum disorder.
So what's Asperger's? What are the things that you kind of deal with Asperger's?
Okay, so I usually deal with lots of stress. It is normal for a preteen girl to deal with stress, but I usually deal with more stress than most people. And I think it's a normal thing about Asperger's, and that I learn differently from other people, and it may sometimes make me think a lot harder, and it takes me longer to answer like math questions, but for some other people it takes them shorter.
So do you struggle with just schoolwork, or what else are things that you feel like you have difficulties with?
Well, mostly at school because they kind of just do their own routine, and like I don't sometimes understand the routine that they do, and since I learn differently, it's kind of how I deal with that.
What about like socially and making friends, and do you find that that's harder for you, or I mean, I know now it's easier for you, but
Yeah.
it didn't used to always be that way.
Yeah, it's because people didn't understand how my behavior worked, because I always would stim, and
What's stemming? Show me what stemming is.
okay, so to stimulate yourself to make you like happy, you sort of like for example, you could just tap your foot randomly, and and kind of wave your arms. It helps you make you happy. And I actually do that with pens or markers.
So people maybe thought you were kind of a weirdo, or
Well, yeah, because they didn't understand, and frequently, like back in like third and second grade, many people would ask about why I always did that with pens and pencils, and I told them it was how it would make me happy because I have autism.
yeah. But do you still find it difficult to relate to kids your age? I mean, what about like joking or joining in on the typical things that kids find interesting. Is that still hard for you, or do you feel it's easier now?
I think it's easier than it used to be because I didn't have all those social interactions until like now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't really understand the thing that most people do. Like, I didn't understand that much, and I wanted to do my own thing.
Like you weren't interested in the same kind of things.
Yeah, and I just play by myself and just do my own thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. I mean, but it seems like, especially this year, you've got band and you've got your friends and you've got your really good friends that understand you, right? So
Yeah.
they just kind of accept you.
Yeah, they accept me as their friend because since they've been friends with me for so long, they've learned how to interact with me and they've come to respect me.
That's awesome. So with Asperger's, do you have the obsessions?
Yes,
Do you focus on certain things?
Yes, I have many obsessions. My main obsession is hyenas, and I just really love hyenas. I don't know why. It's just I really like them. And I've also recently became obsessed with this musical artist named Joel Thomas Zimmerman, also known as Deadmau5, who lives in Canada, and he creates EDM, which is like electronic dance music, and his music makes me more calm and it makes me not stress out as much. And maybe that's why I like him.
Do you remember any of your other obsessions? I mean, I remember all of them. And that's all I would hear about, peacocks.
Yes,
or
I remember that.
What are some of the other ones? I can't.
Whales.
Whales was short, yeah. Peacocks lasted a couple of years.
Dinosaurs.
Tornadoes.
Yes, tornadoes.
And weather.
Yes, I still like those.
So when you have an obsession, what do you do? Do you research it? What?
Yes, I research it a lot, and I usually just do things dedicated to those and all those stuff.
Write stories and draw pictures and all of that. All right, Morgan. Thanks for sharing your input on your disorder that you deal with every day.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I love you.
Bye.